The 1976 to 1977 NBA season was the 31st season of the National Basketball Association. The season began on October 21st, 1976 and ended on April 10th, 1977. Prior to the season, the NBA merged with its primary rival league, the American Basketball Association, known as the ABA. 4 ABA franchises joined the NBA: the New York Nets, the Indiana Pacers, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Denver Nuggets. The NBA playoffs were expanded from 5 teams per conference to 6, resulting in division winners getting a first-round bye. The number 1 draft pick was John Lucas, selected by the Houston Rockets. Spa World, welcome to NBA Rap. Those are some quick facts about this season. I know I'm wearing the same shirt as last video, but listen, man, I'm trying to make it out the mud. I really am. Just leave a like, sub. Let's get to the team records. All right, we got 4 new teams, so let's see if we can do this a little quicker. Leading the West in the league were the Los Angeles Lakers, 53 wins, 29 losses, followed by the Denver Nuggets, 50 and 32, Portland Trail Blazers, 49 and 33, Golden State Warriors, 46 and 36, Detroit Pistons, 44 and 38, and Chicago Bulls, 44 and 48. Missing the playoffs were the Kansas City Kings, 40 and 42, Seattle Supersonics, 40 and 22, Indiana Pacers, 36 and 46, Phoenix Suns, 34 and 48, and Milwaukee Bucks, 30 and 52. The East was led by the Philadelphia 76ers with a 50-win, 32-loss season, followed by the Houston Rockets, 49 and 33, Washington Bullets, 48 and 34, Boston Celtics, 44 and 38, San Antonio Spurs, 44 and 38, and Cleveland Cavaliers, 43 and 39. Missing the playoffs were the New York Knicks, 40 and 42, New Orleans Jazz, 35 and 47, Atlanta Hawks, 31 and 54, Buffalo Braves, 30 and 52, and New York Nets, 22 and 60. Can't believe it, New York. It's about that time. Let's get into our season leaders and all-star game. The scoring champion went to Pete Maravich of the New Orleans Jazz, averaging 31.6 points per game. The rebounds leader was Bill Walton of the Portland Trail Blazers, averaging 14.4 rebounds per game. The assist leader went to Don Buse of the Indiana Pacers, averaging 8.5 assists per game. The steals leader went to Don Buse, or is it Don Bussy, averaging 3.4 steals per game. Don Bussy. The blocks leader went to Bill Walton of the Portland Trail Blazers, averaging 3.2 blocks per game. The 1977 NBA All-Star Game was played on February 13, 1977 at Mecca Arena in Milwaukee. This was the 27th edition of the NBA All-Star Game and the first to be played after the ABA-NBA merger. It was the first time the NBA All-Star Game was played on a Sunday afternoon after the previous 26 games had been played in the evening. Wait, what is the difference between the afternoon and the evening? Someone comment below. The Western Conference defeated the Eastern Conference 125 to 124. Julius Erving, in his first NBA All-Star game, was awarded the Most Valuable Player trophy, becoming only the 2nd player to win the award despite losing, after a 30-point, 12-rebound performance. The Eastern Conference All-Stars were Pete Maravich of the New Orleans Jazz, Bob McAdoo of the Buffalo Braves, Doug Collins, George McGinnis, and Julius Erving of the Philadelphia 76ers, JoJo White and John Havlicek of the Boston Celtics, Elvin Hayes and Phil Chainer of the Washington Bullets, Rudy Tomjanovich of the Houston Rockets, Earl Monroe of the New York Knicks, and George Gervin of the San Antonio Spurs. They were coached by Gene Shue of the Philadelphia 76ers. The Western Conference stars were Paul Westphal of the Phoenix Suns, Norm Van Leer of the Chicago Bulls, Dan Essel, Bobby Jones, and David Thompson of the Denver Nuggets, Maurice Lucas of the Portland Trail Blazers, Rick Barry and Phil Smith of the Golden State Warriors, Don Buse and Billy Knight of the Indiana Pacers, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the Los Angeles Lakers, and Bob Lanier of the Detroit Pistons. They were coached by Larry Brown of the Denver Nuggets. Missed in the game due to injury were Dave Cowens of the Boston Celtics and Bill Walton of the Portland Trail Blazers. Spa World, you know we need that Rookie of the Year award. Hit the like button right now. Smash that sub button if you're new. Let's get to the award winners. The MVP of the season went to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 26.2 points per game, 3.9 assists per game, and 13.3 rebounds per game. The Rookie of the Year, Adrian Dantley of the Buffalo Braves, averaging 20.3 points per game, 1.9 assists per game, and 7.6 rebounds per game. The Coach of the Year, Tom Nisselk of the Houston Rockets. If y'all know how to pronounce his name, please let me know in the comments. I have no idea. Making the All-NBA first team, Elvin Hayes of the Washington Bullets, averaging 23.7 points per game, 1.9 assists per game, and 12.5 rebounds per game. David Thompson of the Denver Nuggets, averaging 25.9 points per game, 4.1 assists per game, and 4.1 rebounds per game. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of the Los Angeles Lakers, averaging 26.2 points per game, 3.9 assists per game, and 13.3 rebounds per game. Pete Maravich of the New Orleans Jazz, averaging 31.1 points per game, 5.4 assists per game, and 5.1 rebounds per game. And Paul West-Powell of the Phoenix Suns, averaging 21.3 points per game, 5.7 assists per game, and 2.3 rebounds per game. Making the All-NBA second team, Julius Erving of the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 21.6 points per game, 3.7 assists per game, and 8.5 rebounds per game. George McGinnis of the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 21.4 points per game, 3.8 assists per game, and 11.5 rebounds per game. Bill Walton of the Portland Trail Blazers, averaging 18.6 points per game, 3.8 assists per game, and 14.4 rebounds per game. George Gervin of the San Antonio Spurs, averaging 23.1 points per game, 2.9 assists per game, and 5.5 rebounds per game. And JoJo White of the Boston Celtics, averaging 19.6 points per game, 6 assists per game, and 4.7 rebounds per game. Making the All-NBA rookie team, John Lucas of the Houston Rockets, Mitch Kupchak of the Washington Bullets, Scott May of the Chicago Bulls, Adrian Dantley of the Buffalo Braves, and Ron Lee of the Phoenix Suns. Making the NBA All-Defensive First Team, Bobby Jones of the Denver Nuggets, E.C. Coleman of the New Orleans Jazz, Bill Walton of the Portland Trail Blazers, Don Buse of the Indiana Pacers, and Norm Van Leer of the Chicago Bulls. Making the NBA All-Defensive Second Team, Jim Brewer of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jamal Wilkes of the Golden State Warriors, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Don Chaney of the Los Angeles Lakers, and Brian Taylor of the Kansas City Kings. Here we are at the most important part of the season, the playoffs, and I have something important to ask. You might know if you watch these videos, but yo, just leave a comment, anything about ball, anything about anything actually. It really helps a lot, so thank you. In the first round of the East, the Boston Celtics defeated the San Antonio Spurs 2-0. The Washington Bullets won over the Cleveland Cavaliers 2-1. In the West first round, the Golden State Warriors defeated the Detroit Pistons 2-1. The Portland Trail Blazers defeated the Chicago Bulls 2-1. In the Eastern Division semifinals, the Philadelphia 76ers won in a 7-game series over Boston, and the Houston Rockets beat Washington 4-2. In the West Division semifinals, the Los Angeles Lakers defeated Golden State in 7 games, and Portland defeated the Nuggets 4-2. In the Eastern Division Finals, Philadelphia bested Houston 4-2 to advance to the finals. And in the Western Division Finals, Portland swept the Los Angeles Lakers 4-0, shocking the world and advancing to the finals. The 1977 NBA Finals began on May 22nd and ended on June 5th, featuring the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Their 4 regular season meetings had been split evenly 2-2, with neither side winning away from home. In this finals, 5 of the 10 starting players were former ABA players: Julius Erving, Caldwell Jones, George McGinnis, Dave Swartzik, and Maurice Lucas. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm pretty sure I chopped Dave's last name, but hey, if you know how to pronounce it, drop it in the comments. Led by the high-scoring duo performance of Julius Erving with 33 points and Doug Collins with 30, the 76ers took Game 1, 107-101. It didn't help that Portland had 34 turnovers. Philly held down home court with an easy 107-89 win. In the final 5 minutes, however, Philadelphia's Darryl Dawkins and Portland's Bob Gross both went up for a rebound and wrestled each other to the floor. Dawkins and Gross squared off and both benches cleared, including the coaches. In the middle of the fray, Maurice Lucas slapped Dawkins from behind. Dawkins and Lucas were ejected, and Doug Collins needed 4 stitches after he caught a punch from Dawkins that had missed his target. This is 2 finals in a row now that there were brawls. We need to bring this back, baby. I ain't gonna lie, I don't want to see nobody get hurt, but we need to bring it back. I want to see some action. Demon time. Now at the Portland Memorial Coliseum, the Blazers offense took charge and posted a 42-point fourth quarter, winning the game 129-109. Game 4, Portland tied the series 2-2, winning 130-98, the largest margin of victory in a Game 4 in NBA history. Back at home, despite Julius Erving dropping 37 points, Portland set numerous rebounding records for his team, including Bill Walton's personal 24 rebound performance, en route to a 110-104 win. Portland, now back at home for the series-clinching game, kept their feet on the gas. Up by 15 at the half, they never looked back. Julius Erving tried to force a Game 7 with a 40-point, 8-assist performance, but Bill Walton's 20 points, 23 rebounds, 7 assists, and 8 blocks kept the game in Portland's hands, winning 109-107 and wrapping up their playoff run with the chip. Bill Walton was named Finals MVP, averaging 18.2 points per game, 3.4 blocks per game, 1.1 steals per game, 5.5 assists per game, and 15.2 rebounds per game in the playoffs. Portland became the second team to overcome a 2-0 deficit to win the finals since the Boston Celtics in 1969. Go check out that video. You know we got that year covered in NBA Rap. And they were the first team to do so with 4 straight wins. Spa World, that's wraps on today's episode of NBA Wrapped. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hit that like button if you here. Hit that sub button if you new. You know what to do. And if you want to keep running ball, you can do that right there.